The Yes Movement has arrived at the showcase of Immortals to open up the show. Daniel Bryan, who represents the everyman, a man who's overcome the odds, looking to do it again as the Yes Chants take over the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. That's gotta have over 70,000 in attendance. And Daniel Bryan, he brought this upon himself. This is what he wanted. But the thing about Daniel Bryan in this matchup is his shoulder was injured a couple of months ago. And then it was re-injured a few weeks ago by none other than the game himself, Triple H. Daniel Bryan trying to push through the odds, trying to overcome the obstacles that the authority has put in front of him. And you see that smirk on the face of Triple H. And referee Charles Robinson gonna call this one. And Daniel Bryan, we know, is not 100%. That is already out there in the world. Daniel Bryan, it's physical. You could see the tape around the shoulder. And Triple H, known as one of the most dangerous to ever step foot inside a WWE ring, regarded as the withheld and given the moniker of the cerebral assassin. So having to go having to go against somebody with that moniker, there's a lot that's going on in the mind. There's gotta be a lot going on in the mind of Daniel Bryan. There's a lot at stake. There's a lot of people that are on his side, but at the same time, there's a lot of people he could let down at the same time if he doesn't get past this first part. And theoretically, let's say Daniel Bryan does get past this first part. Oh, Daniel Bryan just kicked the hand of Triple H. And a surprise to the game. Triple H, who is a 13-time world champion. He's done everything there is to do in this business, including entering the corporate side of things. And Triple H, he's going to have to account for that pace of Daniel Bryan in this match. Daniel Bryan works a faster pace, but Daniel Bryan also has a technical in-ring background as well. But for Daniel Bryan in this match, his best case into winning this one is to use his speed. Triple H works methodical. He likes the slow pace. He likes to break his opponents piece by piece. He likes to find the weakness, and right now, that weakness is as clear as day because Triple H is the man who is responsible for that injury being reopened, if you will. And Triple H going after the arm of Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan rolled through, making sure to reduce the effectiveness. Side headlock. And Daniel Bryan driving Triple H into the mat. A good strategy is finding that balance between pacing and grounding. The pacing of the match you want to be on the upper hand of your opponent, but also finding the right timing to keep your opponent grounded. Keep your opponent as close to the ground as possible, because there are those times you do need to keep your opponent down, where you are trying to ground and pound, or you are trying to get them down to the mat. There is that balance in your strategy that you must have. Oh, and Daniel Bryan with that knee to the midsection of Triple H. And once again, another side headlock takeover. But in this situation, it's Triple H who's trying to fight free. Triple H has his wife, Stephanie McMahon, in his corner. These two have had an absolute vendetta against Daniel Bryan. One of the most disrespectful things you can ever say to somebody is you'll never be anything more than a B-plus player. And Bryan, a man who's overcome a lot of obstacles throughout his career in this industry alone. Daniel Bryan, who's overcome so much. He's not going to take no for an answer. And he's looking to make sure tonight is no different. Because if he gets through this, the winner of this match will enter the main event match. Our main event is Randy Orton and Batista. Batista won the Royal Rumble. Batista earned his right to challenge Randy Orton for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the main event. And with Daniel Bryan, there's got a lot at stake. He could let down the 75,167 fans in attendance if he doesn't get to the main event. But at the same time, there's also that intrigue of the three members of Evolution in a triple threat match in the main event of WrestleMania for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. There's all kinds of intrigue that could come from either side, come from either outcome of this match. Bryan, full speed ahead off the apron. And Daniel Bryan, with a tornado DDT off the apron, takes out Triple H. And Daniel Bryan, that never say die attitude. He's as fearless as they get. Daniel Bryan, high risk, high reward. Taking a leap of faith. Both took quite a bit of that. Triple H took some of that force off that fall. But you could also hear a bit of where Daniel Bryan hit the mat, hit the floor hard. And Bryan, who gets back up to his feet first. Let's get another look at this. This dive, this leap of faith in slow motion. Daniel Bryan, a bad landing. Went for the cover, but Triple H gets the shoulder up at 2. You just heard Stephanie say, you're never going to win. It's about playing mind games. Triple H is usually a man of mind games. And Stephanie, who is cheering on her husband, is also playing mind games with Bryan. And right now, it's almost like a 2-on-1 in a sense. Triple H with the physical aspect of it, and Stephanie with that mental aspect. Because for Daniel Bryan, he can say whatever he wants to her, and she can say whatever she wants to him, but he can't lay a finger on her to get his revenge. No, Triple H was looking for the pedigree on top of our announce desk. Oh my God. That was a nasty landing. Triple H driving Bryan's shoulder right into the mat. Triple H telling the official to count him out. Daniel Bryan took that hit hard to the shoulder onto the announce desk. Triple H calling it, looking to end this one right now so that he can maintain as much energy as possible heading into the championship match later tonight. But now Daniel Bryan is back in the ring. But the damage has already been done. And now more damage has already been done with a flatliner to the arm of Daniel Bryan. And Daniel Bryan, who's going to work, Daniel Bryan on the receiving end. Let's get another look at this. This is what Daniel Bryan just endured moments ago. Right, the shoulder first, right into the announce desk. And now Triple H has Daniel Bryan back into the ring and just going to town, torquing that arm with extreme force. Daniel Bryan trying to fight through it the best he can, trying to do anything he can to create as much separation. Triple H not really showing any signs of ring rust. Triple H. Oh. And Triple H got sent. Flying over the top. Oh, look at a fly. But a right hand stops the momentum of Daniel Bryan. Talk about a literal stop sign to the yes movement. You're going to stop yes with a no. Oh, no. No, he's not going to do the hammerlock. Oh, hammerlock and driving the shoulder into the mat. Almost like a hammerlock backdrop. Suplex in onto the ring apron. All that force that crashes down with the arm behind. It leaves that shoulder exposed with no room to block the landing. It's just a rough landing no matter how you land on that, the way that Triple H dropped him. There's no safe space there for Bryan. And this match can end in a count out, and it will send Triple H to the main event. Triple H will win by any means necessary. And Daniel Bryan gets back in the ring once more. Daniel Bryan just barely making in the ring before just in the nick of time. Looks like he's going for that cross-face chicken wing. Looking to put Daniel Bryan to sleep. This move made famous by none other than a former WWE champion and Bob Backlund. Bob Backlund, one of the all-time greats. A man who wrestled with integrity. Much like Daniel Bryan, who's trying to fight with everything he's got. But his guy is locked. He is in deep trouble as Triple H has this crossface. Center of the ring. Daniel Bryan trying to crawl for his life. For the right to challenge Randy Orton and Batista for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the main event with 75,000 plus in the Yes Movement in attendance in person tonight. Daniel Bryan's got the weight of the stadium on his shoulders. And there's already damage done to his shoulder entering into this match. So there's all these different things that are going on in the mind of Daniel Bryan. And I was going to say something, but absolutely devastating for the shoulder of Daniel Bryan, the way Triple H snapped it into the mat. Let's not forget, back at SummerSlam, when Daniel Bryan defeated John Cena for the WWE Championship, Daniel Bryan did the unthinkable for the first time, becoming WWE Champion in his career. He's been a world champion, but never a WWE champion, and he did just that. But with Triple H as a special guest referee, he called that match right down the middle. What a forearm by Bryan, though. Although Triple H called that match right down the middle, when the opportunity struck, the authority rose and Triple H took out Daniel Bryan, which allowed Randy Orton to successfully cash in the Money in the Bank, ending the celebration of Daniel Bryan. And when WrestleMania was beginning to start, WrestleMania season beginning to start, Daniel Bryan would not be denied. The Yes Movement was formed, and nobody would give up until Daniel Bryan was given the opportunity to challenge in the main event for the world titles. And Daniel Bryan, another bridging German suplex. And Bryan, despite the bad arm, will not let go. But now it's Triple H, standing switch. Look at a return to that crossface chicken wing. And Daniel Bryan trying to fight free. Oh, and a back hooked. A double arm hooked German suplex to Daniel Bryan, exposing that shoulder on the throw, which will add more impact. Let's get another look at this. Absolutely. It's just becoming uncomfortable. At what point does Daniel Bryan say, all right, we tried, but this just isn't it? But that's not Daniel Bryan, though. Daniel Bryan's not the kind of person that's going to be like, I tried. Let's fight and live another day. He's going to fight until his last breath. Until his dying breath, Daniel Bryan is going to give it everything he's got. That's how he's approached his entire career. Always that underdog mentality of, I need to work harder than everybody else. And when you get to see somebody like Daniel Bryan, an absolute incredible performer, and for him to be told, like I mentioned earlier, how he was called a B+ player, you take that to heart when you value yourself so highly. When you've worked your entire career to get to the point you're at now. And Daniel Bryan nailed Triple H with a sunset flip. And now Daniel Bryan buys himself some time to regroup. But the question is, will Daniel Bryan be able to capitalize on this opportunity? Daniel Bryan's up. Daniel Bryan, the first of these two to get up to their feet. You can hear Stephanie supporting Triple H saying, you've got him beat. Daniel Bryan running full speed ahead. And once more. And this is where Daniel Bryan starts to feed. But Triple H explodes out of the corner with a wicked clothesline that turned Daniel Bryan inside out. And Stephanie loved that. Get a look at this clothesline. That second kick. Daniel Bryan goes back for one more. And then, bam! Daniel Bryan turned inside out, nearly decapitated by that lariat. That clothesline, rather. Triple H, trying to shake off the cobwebs, took out a lot of him as well. Oh, Daniel Bryan's got it. Triple H was going for the pedigree. Jackknife, but Triple H kicked out. And that kick caught Triple H right on the side of the head. Triple H is laid out. But can Daniel Bryan capitalize on the opportunity? Daniel Bryan fighting his way back up to his feet. And the Yes Movement is trying to pull Daniel Bryan through to the main event as it goes up high. Daniel Bryan from the top went for the diving headbutt, but Triple H got the knee. And again, the crossface. The shoulder, the arm trapped in between the legs. Triple H looking to make sure that WrestleMania dies here in New Orleans. The irony of the possibility of the technical specialist, the submission specialist, Daniel Bryan tapping out at the Showcase of Immortals. Daniel Bryan starting to fade. Daniel Bryan is fading. Triple H fighting with everything he's got. Daniel Bryan able to shift the weight, but Triple H able to shift it again to make sure he's at a clear pace. Clear as day, right where he wants Bryan, center of the ring. Daniel Bryan is trying to drag himself to the other side. He's going to put Daniel Bryan to sleep. And Daniel Bryan trying to fight. And Bryan, who's trying to feed off the WWE Universe as he pulls back for the cover. Wait. Daniel Bryan, wait. He's center of the ring. The lapel lock. The Yats lock. Will the game tap? And now he's got it. Triple H, who's screaming and writhing in pain. Stephanie, who's pleading with her husband to stay in this. Daniel Bryan's got that grip locked in by a finger. Triple H trying to break free. And Triple H, you could hear him writhing once more. And Stephanie almost talking to Triple H by the rope, kind of leading him to the bottom rope. He was completely blind in that situation with Daniel Bryan's hands locked over the eyes of the game. Daniel Bryan is fighting and not quitting. And that is a lot. You know, that takes a lot of courage. As Daniel Bryan, like a shooting star on that suicide dive, takes out Triple H. And another one. And once more, the game goes down. And the yes kicks to Triple H, who's leaned across the ring. The guardrail, or the barricade, however you'd like to call it. And that missile drop kick by Bryan takes out Triple H, but did some damage to his shoulder on the landing in the process. No way. And look at Bryan, who just kipped up to his fate. There's a second life. And Bryan. And another one. Will it be? And it is. This might just send Bryan to the main event. But the game kicks at it too. It's about dreaming the impossible dream. It's about reaching the unreachable star as Daniel Bryan looks for that running name that won them the WWE Championship the first time. But Triple H counters with a spine buster. And now Triple H. Good night, Bryan. The dream just died, but Daniel Bryan kicked out of the pedigree. And you see the shocked look on the face of Stephanie as Daniel Bryan will not die. Triple H, who just nailed Daniel Bryan with the best shot in the arsenal, and it wasn't enough. to keep Bryan down. Let's get another look at this. 1, 2, and no. Bryan willed himself out of that pinfall after that patented signature pedigree that has won Triple H 13 world championships in the WWE. Oh, Daniel Bryan, inside cradle. And a kick out at 2 by Triple H. There's so much at stake with this match. As incredible as the match is, there's still so much more at stake with this. One of these two men still have to go, one more match, go one match more tonight. The main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And Triple H has got to be careful in this situation. Sometimes Triple H can let his emotions get the best of him, and he can't afford that. Because if he gets disqualified, Daniel Bryan gets the victory, and that technical victory sends Daniel Bryan straight to the main event at Triple H's own doing. But speaking of Triple H's own doing, looking for one more pedigree to close this one out, but Daniel Bryan countered. Shoulders down to the game. And Triple H holds on still and turns it around, still keeping the arms locked in as he looks for the pedigree. And Bryan with a great block. Oh, what a knee. And Triple H with another knee to keep Daniel Bryan down. To make sure there is nothing left in Bryan. And Triple H about to end the dream. Oh, Daniel Bryan broke free of it. Daniel Bryan broke free. Oh, Triple H. Backdrop suplex, but Daniel Bryan landed on his feet. Running knee connects. Will it be as he pulls the leg back? Daniel Bryan has done it. The dream stays alive. The Yes Movement with 75,167,000 fans behind Daniel Bryan send him straight to the main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And you see all the yes signs. You see all the signs for Daniel Bryan. The first part of Daniel Bryan's night ends in victory. But this was only half the battle. And with the Yes Movement now having beaten the Authority, Daniel Bryan has a weight lifted off his shoulders as he finally gets to push through the hurdle. Now, what's Stephanie doing? Stephanie slaps Bryan. He's just laughing at her. Oh, come on. Daniel Bryan already beat you. Oh, driving the shoulder into the steel post. Triple H is absolutely snapped. But like I said earlier, there's a reason they call him the cerebral assassin. That steel chair right to the arm. Sandwiched in between the ring post. And there. And you just heard Stephanie say that's what happens when you play with the game. Daniel Bryan still got a main event match to go to. Will he even be able to compete? Meanwhile, Daniel Bryan may have won this match, but Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are the ones walking out. Triple H is the one standing tall as Daniel Bryan is being attended to by the medical team, that last chair to the shoulder could be the big thing that just ended the Yes movement here at WrestleMania.